I support QPR, but my friends support other teams. It's us versus them. Hello my fellow R's and welcome back to a brand new series with me, P-Block Scudze. Now for this series I've gathered up a load of my friends who support other teams and I'm going to quiz them on their knowledge of the stats and facts between QPR and their chosen team. It's pretty simple, there's 8 questions for them to answer with 3 bonus points up for grabs, but the bonus points won't be easy to get. And at the end of the series we will crown our rival champion with a signed photo of none other than P-Block Scudze. Okay, so on today's friendly rivalry, I've got my very good friend Joe Barnes. Joe, how you doing, mate?
Hello, good mate. You? Kind of surviving lockdown, bored, no football, but sun shining. We've got beer to keep us hydrated.
Yes, we have.
Until the season starts again, what more do we want?
So Joe and me, most of our friendship is spent in our local pub. I think that's the right thing to say.
The easy way to say it.
Yeah, creating stuff like Windowgate, but nobody needs to know about
that. Okay, yeah, classic. That's a story for another day, though.
Exactly, definitely, mate, definitely. So, Joe, you support Liverpool. So, how did that come about?
I do. So, I supported Liverpool. Well, it's the only team I've ever supported, and my dad's basically a Liverpool fan, which might be strange because I am from the south, but I've been going to Liverpool since about 1996 when I was about 4 years old. I went to my first game, Liverpool-Chelsea. We lost 2-1. Didn't deter me, I kept on coming back. I think I went to Stamford Bridge about 3 years in a row and we lost worse each time. But no, I've had a great privilege being a Liverpool fan. I've seen us win European Cups. Hopefully we're on the verge of winning our first league in,
fingers crossed, mate.
This is the first time in my lifetime. No, but it's really good. And it's just, my dad supported it. Funny story. He said I could support whoever I want. If I support Everton or Manchester United, I'd have to go and live in the sheds. And supporting Liverpool seemed the easier option.
Definitely, mate, definitely. I do love the fact that your start to life as a Liverpool fan just seems so depressing and bleak. So at least you know how it is to be sometimes a QPR fan.
It wasn't. So that's like people could call me a glory hunter at times. Well, I was obviously too young to know what success was at that time. But actually, Liverpool in kind of the late 90s weren't that great a side. We would live off our name with the great teams of the 80s, the 70s. But we just didn't seem to cut it. And we kind of we signed a lot of kind of really average kind of older players. And like kind of Neil Ruddock played into his old age, John Barnes played into his old age. While they were kind of fantastic players at the time, in their day, but it just didn't seem to work. And we did have brilliant players like Robbie Fowler, Steve McManaman, who were great young English players and from Liverpool, which helped. But we just didn't seem to ever cut it. And then Gerard Houllier did bring us a bit of success in the early 2000s, but then kind of Rafa kind of revolutionised us, brought us back to kind of the pinnacle of Europe, which is what all the stories I've had to live with of kind of going to games, hearing all the older blokes go, oh, we went to Rome, we went to Paris, we went to Wembley to see all these games, see us win the Champions League. And fortunately, I've seen us win it 2 times now, so I'm quite content.
Yeah, and you're certainly the traveller with the away support, that's for sure.
I do like to try.
Yeah. Oh, so for my viewers, by the way, before I forget, you would have noticed in one of my other videos where I had a strong words for a couple of people about me owning a Man U shirt. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the guy, Joe Barnes. So
a classic pub story, and there's no better way after Lee's had several Colesbergs and maybe a Chelsea.
Yeah. Okay, so Joe, in this quiz, friendly rivalry, I've got 8 questions for you. In about 3 of the questions, there are bonus points up for grabs as well. So we'll go through them, see how good your knowledge is on Liverpool and QPR. Okay. So let's start the quiz, yeah?
Let's go.
Okay. So, question 1, a nice bit of recent history. When was the last time QPR and Liverpool played each other? I'm happy for the year.
I'm going to say it was probably the last time you were in the Premier League, and it was 2015 off the top of my head.
You are indeed correct.
And if I remember the game correctly, we went 1-0 up quite early on, and then you scored quite late on, but then we scored again in about the 90th minute. I think it was Philip Coutinho, and it was 2-1.
For a bonus point, what was the final score?
2-1.
Yeah, okay, so that was a nice and easy bonus point for you there. Yeah, we actually played at Liverpool on the 2nd of May in 2015. As you Coutinho scored the first goal in the 19th minute. Then Leroy scored for us in the 73rd, and that was when we really thought we were going to get a draw at Liverpool, but no. Super captain Steven Gerrard in the 87th.
Oh, it was Gerrard that played on.
So yeah,
okay. Yeah, he's the amount of times that Steven Gerrard bailed us out of tricky situations, countless amounts of time.
Great guy, top guy. And I remember actually one of the games when you were at our place, and he was taking the corner right below where I was sitting, and I was just like, oh my god, I can't believe he's literally 6 foot away from where I was sitting. But yeah.
No, we do. We take that for granted. That you look at. I've seen Lionel Messi. I've seen Ronaldo. God knows how many Neymar I've seen. All these Mbappe and all these players. But actually, Premier League supporters, Liverpool fans, England fans have had one of probably the best ever players to wear a football shirt in their lifetime, and in Steven Gerrard. And so it's a shame that he never managed to win the league with Liverpool. I'm happy that he was very much a one club man, and he could have gone to Chelsea, but he turned it down after kind of some and ahhing, and he eventually did go off to LA Galaxy. But no, what a player he was, and I couldn't. If you asked me to name my kind of top 5 Gerrard goals, I couldn't do it. It's too many.
Too many, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, so based on that previous question number 2. To the nearest 1,000, what was the attendance for that game?
Okay, so it would be about 45,000 at Liverpool at that time, I think.
And you are?
I would say 45,000.
Yeah, I'll give you the point for that. It was actually 44,707, but as I said to the nearest 1,000, I will accept 45,000. So well done, mate. Okay, moving on to question 3. Having played each other a total of 51 times, which team has won more games?
This is a tricky one, and does edge towards the glory hunter side. But Liverpool won more games than QPR. Well, that's.
If you'd have got that one wrong, I would have called you a glory hunting plastic fan.
No, I think we've kind of beaten the better side in the years that we played you.
Yeah. So Liverpool have beaten us 35 times. QPR have won 8 games, and the rest were 8 draws. So not a lot.
Okay. That's very good.
Pretty much one-way traffic there, shall we say?
You do have that midweek moment, don't you? That you always like to remind me of.
I don't know.
Was that the last time you beat us?
I mean, Jamie Mackey's coming into my head, but I can't think of why. Well, talking of scores, moving on to question 4. What was Liverpool's biggest win against QPR? Just a score.
I think it was in the 80s, and it's probably 4-1 or 4-0. I must admit, I did look this up the other day when Lee asked me to do this video. He was like, can you remember? Because Liverpool and QPR haven't played that many times in the last kind of 10, 15 years.
No.
So I had to look back at a few of the 80s kind of games. So I'm going to say it was 4-1 was the biggest win.
I'm afraid it was 4-0.
Oh,
and you should have stuck with that. But so it was 4-0. But for a bonus point, what season was this in?
Should we go? Well, I've got in my head 1981, but I'm going to say 1987.
How the hell did you go from 81 to 87? I mean, yeah.
1 and 7 looks the same.
Yeah, no, totally right. It was in the 1987-88 season. It was at Anfield on the 17th of October in the old Division 1.
So I've obviously not old enough to have been alive at that time, but you said that you watched kind of DVDs or what would have been videotapes with your dad growing up. That's exactly what I did. And
well, that game,
Teddy Dalglish was manager at the time, and yeah, that was one of the best Liverpool sides that we kind of had. Kind of late 80s, kind of late 80s was a superb side.
The mad thing is with that game, it was on the 17th of the 10th. 17 days later, I was born.
Okay, so you missed it as well.
I just about missed it. Yeah, I was still asleep. Okay, so we're going to go from the biggest win to question 5. What was Liverpool's biggest loss against QPR? Again, just a scoreline.
I'm going to go 3-1. Spot
on. Well done. Well done. And for a bonus point, what season was this?
Oh, I don't know. Should we proper guess of 1968?
Not even remotely close. It was actually 1990-1991 season. This was at Anfield on the 30th of March in 1991 in the old Division 1.
Okay, so I would have been about a year before I was born. That's always good. Something for you to remember. You know who were the goal scorers? Who did you have playing for you at the time? Do you remember? Because that was probably when you were about kind of 5 or 6, maybe.
No. I was born in '87, so that was. In fact, my sister was born then. Yeah, the tail end of that year, so I was 3.
Okay, so you probably don't remember. It's not your formative years.
We would have had Ray Wilkins playing for us. We would have had Les. So
we probably don't appreciate that you've had some really bloody good players play for you, haven't you?
Yeah.
Like that great striker. Ray Wilkins, obviously, superb player, and went on to be quite a good coach and manager.
I mean, especially the season when we were robbed of the old Division 1 title because somebody couldn't play for another 10 days. I will never let that go. I will never let that go. Well, talking about trophies, next question number 6. Who has won more trophies?
Liverpool are still the most successful English club in the country.
I'm sorry, but you're actually wrong on that.
No, can't be right.
Yeah, you're completely right. I can tell you that Liverpool have won, according to my fact finding, 67 major trophies compared to QPR's 6. And I've got the list in front of me here. Liverpool have won the first Old Division 18 times, the Old Division 4 times, the FA Cup 7 times, the League Cup 8 times, the Football League Super Cup, the Charity Shield 15 times, the Old European Cup 4 times, Champions League 2 times, UEFA Cup 2 times, Europa League once, European Super Cup 4 times, and the FIFA Club World Cup once.
And it's honestly it's quite staggering what that Liverpool side achieved. But I dragged our good friend Robert Duffield. But is he gonna be on the series at some point?
He may be.
Good. We were in America, unfortunately. That's one I really did kind of. Me and him booked this holiday kind of a year in advance. Liverpool went on to win the European Cup in Madrid, and then I was like, I want to go and watch Liverpool in the World Club Championship or whatever it's called these days, the FIFA World Club Championship. And not unfortunately, because we had a great time, but I did watch it in a bar in Orlando rather than in Qatar, which is a shame. But hopefully, Jurgen Klopp's got some good things. We'll be back winning the European Cup again soon.
I reckon you will. I'd be very surprised if you don't. So, yeah. Okay, moving on to question 7. A nice geography-based question here for you. How many miles are there between Anfield and Loftus Road?
Oh, God.
And I will accept two numbers either side of the answer.
So, when I lived in Liverpool, it was about 289 miles from my address in Liverpool to the address where we are from in Essex. So I'm going to say it's probably about 240 miles.
Not, my friend. I thought you were going to say one of the answers I would have accepted, but no. It's actually 215 miles between Loftus Road.
Only 215.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Because of obviously where QPR is based in West London.
Yeah, West London. Yeah, true.
Yeah. So can't give you a point for that, I'm afraid, mate.
No, that's fair enough. That's close but no cigar.
Close, but yeah, exactly. But you weren't a million miles away, was you?
No, definitely not.
Okay, so we're now on to the final question, and this is about double duties. So, from the following stats, who is this player that has played for both clubs? So, he has played for QPR 47 times, scoring 12 goals between 2000 and 2001, and he's played for Liverpool 134 times, scoring 42 goals between 2005 and 2008.
Bloody hell. Could be Peter Crouch.
Correct.
Oh, good.
It is indeed Peter Crouch. Mr. Crouch, who has played for a total of 11 clubs and 42 times for England. Little unknown fact here, that when Peter was 1 year old, the family moved to Singapore for 3 years for his dad's job.
Right. I didn't know that, and I actually read his book recently, which I really do kind of recommend. It's funny. It's got good for your QPR tales, good for your Liverpool tales. So I think that kind of supporters from both clubs can appreciate. He was actually a really good player as well. For a big guy, he obviously looks gangly, doesn't look like a footballer, but actually he got a brilliant first touch, and he's much better with his feet than I think people appreciate. Again, scored some goals with Liverpool, and I think he probably left Liverpool a bit too prematurely, from my mind, because he was kind of up with Fernando Torres, and Fernando Torres was kind of this wonder kid that we'd signed from Spain, from Atletico Madrid, was scoring goals for fun, and he just didn't see himself as the leading striker at the time, so he went off to Portsmouth, I think, after Liverpool. Yeah. But he was a super player, and
I'll tell you one funny thing is, so when QPR used to do open days, like just before the season started, the one season that he was with us, obviously he was there. Now I was probably about, I don't know, 8, 9, something like that. 2 foot nothing, and then try and have a picture with this, 6 foot forever, literally string bean. It was so funny.
6'7".
No, it's something ridiculous. Unfortunately, I don't have the photo to hand. I do have it somewhere, but yeah.
Please, you can take a picture of that. I want this included in this video.
Yeah, okay, I'll try and find it, mate. I'll try and find it. But yeah, no, but yeah, again, lovely guy. I think he's really funny as well. I don't listen to all of his podcasts, but I've seen bits and bobs, and I think, yeah, what.
No, he's definitely he's a great bloke. And I did actually, in my former life as a sports journalist back about 5 years ago, did actually interview him, and he's just a really funny bloke. Like, you can't, like, a lot of footballers are deadly serious. They go through media training, like they can the soul is sucked out of them. Yeah. But Peter Crouch is one of the rarities where actually no, he's just a normal bloke, happened to be good at football. That's how he made his living, and we'll let him tell the tale about what he would be if he wasn't a footballer.
I was going to say, yeah. Oh, well, that is the quiz done and dusted. And Joe, I can tell you that you finished with a score of 8 out of 11 points. So
respect. Well, I'll take that. That's,
I think that was
hopefully a league-winning score.
Yeah. How did you find the quiz?
What's that? Sorry, mate. A bit of lag.
I said, how did you find the quiz?
Incredible. There's some statistics facts I'd never consider. I did do a bit of research when you got on the blower. Your agent got in contact with my agent and said, "Joe, I'm going to sign you up." And I was like, "Okay, let's do it." And
fresh out a deal like quickly. On this one, yeah.
But no, like 215 miles. I would have thought that's quite a lot longer, and obviously did. Like, your biggest wins were a long time ago, but it wasn't actually as long as I thought it was.
No, exactly.
We've played each other quite a few times now. We've had quite a few players that have played. So thinking off the top of my head, Stephen Colker has played for both clubs. Only once, I think, for Liverpool. He's used as a striker rather than a centre half. Obviously, it's a Crouch. I'm trying to think who else played, but we've got a decent history with both as well, which I like. We've kept our old-fashioned football grounds where we we're kind of on top of the action and stuff. So I think there's probably quite a few similarities, but maybe one day you might kind of win a few more trophies to catch us up.
Yeah, that would be nice, wouldn't it? But yeah, that being said, Joe, thanks for playing Friendly Rivalry, and to say best luck to Liverpool when football does return, and massive fingers crossed that you do get given the Premier League title after this season. It's been so rightly deserved that, you know, I think it would be an absolute tragedy if they didn't give it to you. But yeah, good luck to you in the next season.
Great. Cheers, mate. Thank you, mate, and see you soon.
Thank you. Take care.
Nice one.
So a great round there for Joe, and his total of 8 points means he goes to the top of the table above Dave. But with 8 more players still to go, how much longer will Joe be able to keep that top spot? We'll find out on the next episode of Friendly Rivalry. And don't forget guys, if you like this video, make sure you hit that like button. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button too, so you can keep up to date with all my latest videos. But other than that, as always, come on you arse.